Welcome to Digital PR Explained. Today's guest is Nez Sevim-Lawrence. Nez has worked behind the scenes on purpose-driven celebrity campaigns featuring icons like Jane Goodall, Ricky Gervais, and Judi Dench. And she's an expert at creating what she calls the three-way chemistry, which is the perfect alignment between a cause, a celebrity, and a media outlet. Prior to that, Nez began her career in journalism, and she has reported for outlets such as CNN, NBC, and Euronews. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about why the biggest name isn't always the best fit, which is a theme, as listeners will know. In episode to episode, this topic usually does come up. How to vet a celebrity partner and what the behind the scenes process actually looks like once a campaign is greenlit. Welcome to the podcast, Nez.
Hello, Brit. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. You've worked on some incredible campaigns, as I mentioned, with celebrities like Jane Goodall and Judi Dench. I want to start with, what led you into this niche of purpose-driven, celebrity-backed PR?
Well, it actually started a bit by coincidence. Coming from a journalism background, I interviewed many high-profile figures like politicians, business people, artists, thought leaders. So I already knew how to connect with celebrities, build relationships, and working with them. I was also very aware of their power in media and public, but until I moved to the charity sector, I really didn't realize how valuable that power could be for purpose-driven PR. And also, to be very honest with you, I was actually quite a bit hesitant involving celebrities to the campaigns because I was worried it might feel a bit superficial or it might overshadow, the cause. But at the last charity I'd worked at Animals Asia, celebrities were an integral part of fundraising and communications. And there was a dedicated celebrity manager for that. So you had to be involved. But with the support of these celebrity ambassadors, the ambassadors they had, I led many successful campaigns. We secured great media coverage from outlets like The Guardian, BBC, CNN. We raised substantial money for the charity. We collected thousands of signatures for petitions, great social media engagement, and without all of this happen without overshadowing the cause. In contrast, actually, while helping us to get these all, it was always about the cause, not about the celebrity. And that actually opened my eyes to what I call, as you said, the importance of this three-way chemistry. When the cause and the celebrity and the media outlet, when they are all in perfect alignment. And so, with this understanding, when the celebrity manager I was working left the organization, I stepped in to take over. I knew it wasn't something that should be handled separately from PR. It needs to be integrated into the overall PR strategy. So basically, from one day to another, I found myself holding a big black book of contacts, actors, rock stars, comedians, thought leaders from around the world. And yes, the rest is history.
Interesting. Gosh, a whole big black book of celebrities. And I'm assuming their agents who would be the contact person.
Yes, mostly.
How do you vet celebrities before working with them? What's involved in that sort of due diligence process to make sure they're a good fit and to make sure that the cause isn't overlooked either, which sounds to be like the biggest, I guess, focus for you or in general.
Yeah. Well, when we start planning a campaign, bearing in mind the key messages and target audiences, the first step is basically brainstorming a list of potential celebrities. Mostly you come up with it's a celebrity who has a great backstory, connects to the cause, or who has already a strong and long-term relationship with the charity already. And ideally, they are still relevant in the public discourse, able to attract media attention, and they can also influence our target audiences. So, for example, for an animal charities campaign, you would think of celebrities who are already vocal about animal rights or who are known for their love for animals. But that is just a starting point, because in today's this fast evolving, media landscape, the stories can change so fast and backlash can happen overnight. So it is impossible to know everything a celebrity has said or done. So that is why we always do a thorough background check before reaching out to those celebrities' teams. So, of course, there are some red flags about a celebrity, like offensive comments, past criminal activities, or, controversial public behavior. But on top of that, for every organization and for every cause, there are some specific deal breakers too. So if we can use the animal charity example again, if the organization identifies itself as a vegan charity, then we would avoid someone who previously, for example, promoted a burger chain. And or if the charity works in a politically sensitive region, then you would avoid celebrities who have made some controversial political statements that could cause some diplomatic issues. So also, I think another thing is important. You wouldn't want someone who is associated with another cause or another organization, because some celebrities, they've been talking about the same organization or the same cause for a very long while. So whatever you do, they will always be associated with them. So thinking all of these in mind, normally a good advanced online search is enough if you know how to do your search to do this vetting. But on top of it, I use also some professional tools and platforms to get a full picture. And sometimes I speak with my colleagues, other PR celebrity managers who work with them before, so I can get an idea what is to work with them. And also I want to say one more thing to mention, as in my three-way chemistry formula, I say always not the biggest celebrity is the best celebrity, but also it shouldn't be someone who lost their public relevance or fame. It happens a lot. It happened to me a lot also, because sometimes people want you to choose someone because they're available, or they have a long-standing connection with the charity, or they happen to know someone from the charity. Because if you do that, then the campaign is more about reigniting their public profile, actually promoting the cause. It's a very delicate balance. So I call these situations actually just stop and think, who is doing PR for who? So the focus always should stay on the cause and finding the right voice to represent it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I have questions about in that whole statement. But the first thing that came to mind was, like, you see it all the time, celebrities that all of a sudden there's a lot of controversy surrounding them because an old tweet has resurfaced. So, and you mentioned that there are some tools that you use. And I've always wondered, that must be so hard to go through someone's backlog of tweets and Facebook posts and Instagram posts and all of that, just to make sure they haven't said anything that might be revealed and that could just become the focus of the whole campaign, right? What advice do you have around that?
Well, you should think that this is kind of a marriage. And the second important thing is the internet never forgets. So, which is a good thing and a bad thing, to be honest. I would be very anxious if I was working for a celebrity, in their PR team, because stories can evolve very quickly and one mistake can stay there in the archive of the internet forever. So normally what we do is, like, our search is very thorough. That's why I use extra platforms. There are paid platforms who they are very great to see all the previous campaigns or previous public discourse, who is following them, who are their audience, what those audience are talking about. So you can have a great idea of relevance, what they are related to, what their audience are talking, or is there any topic that we would like to avoid. But also another important thing is you shouldn't do that only when you start working for a campaign. So if you are especially a dedicated celebrity manager, you should follow those celebrities on social media, on press every day. you know what I do normally on X platform or on Instagram as well, I have a list. So when I open that list, I see all the celebrities together and I check every day what they are doing, what they are talking. And also it is as important to check the relevant news about them, to see if they are having, a new show coming, a new album coming, or who they are, fighting with, if there's any kind of a public discourse about them. So yeah, I think another important thing is to always stay up to date every day, not just before a campaign starting.
Yeah. Are you comfortable name dropping some of the tools that you use? I know listeners find that helpful.
Yeah, well, I used to use Matt Water for reporting purposes, but also they added on top of the PR monitoring, they also added social media listening. And I found it very useful, to get everything in one platform. Specifically for influencers, I used for a while influencer intelligence. That was great just to see everything about a celebrity. So when you click a celebrity's profile, you can see everything about them, all those metrics I mentioned. I used Cision for a while, but I didn't. It is, I think, better to see relevant news about those names more than seeing a celebrity as a profile. Yeah, those three platforms I can give.
Okay, nice. That's helpful. Um, well, I guess my next question would be, is there one campaign that you think really got this alignment right? And what do you think made it work?
Wow, there are many actually, and I'm very happy and proud of it. But maybe if I can mention only one campaign that nailed the alignment, also left me a little bit starstruck. It will be, I think, the 25th year anniversary campaign that I led in Animalstasia 2 years ago. So since the organization was marking their 25th year of work, I wanted to do something special and relatable. So I had that idea of reaching out to some of the charity's longtime celebrity ambassadors and inviting them to talk about their journey with us. Because usually when you work with celebrities, the time you get from them is very limited. You mostly get a short video with a scripted message asking people to support the charity. Of course, these videos are very precious and great for social media or when you ask for donations. But when you want to tell a deeper, more emotional story, you need more than just a call to action. So this time, I wanted to do something more genuine. I wanted to create a very genuine conversation. So we brought the celebrities together with the founder of the organization for a series of intimate heart-to-heart interviews. And in those interviews, they were talking about how they first heard about Animalstasia, why they choose to support the organization, their earliest moments with animals, like their childhood pets or their first emotional connection with an animal. So what made these conversations especially powerful was each of these celebrities has also an adopted bear in the organization's sanctuaries. So those bears are somehow like their pets. They periodically receive updates and news from them. They name their bears after their loved ones or their favorite cartoon characters. So during those interviews, we surprise them with a beautiful update of these videos from their adopted bears, telling how they were rescued, how they were thriving in the sanctuary after they were rescued, who was their best friend, who's their favorite treat, all those things. after that video, the interview became more personal. It felt someone more like talking about their much loved pet rather than just a campaign or broader species. And I think that emotional connection made the difference and made the story so much more relatable for the public, because everybody can relate to a story. Somebody really loves an animal and taking care of them. So for these interviews, I had the absolute privilege of working with legends like Judi Dench, Jane Goodall, Leslie Nichol. I think I will never forget in my lifetime being in Judi Dench's home for the interview,
Oh,
or
wow.
chatting with Jane Goodall, who's my personal hero. It was like definitely like pinch me moments of my career. But in the end, yeah, from the PR perspective, it worked very brilliantly. We had multi-page features on the Daily Express, Mirror, OK, Hello Magazine, and several national radio interviews. I think it was a campaign that worked very well because the alignment was real. Those stories were genuine and the celebrities were really truly connected to the cause. And those interviews reflected the heart of the charity's supporters community, because many supporters, I think they saw themselves in those stories and they felt really proud to be part of this cause, this club championed by such respected voices.
That's really cool. I love that example so much. I think, yeah, it speaks to, like you said, the emotional ties that draw us in to the cause, and it makes you want to support it even more. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, well, I know one thing too we talked about before this session, or, before we talked and over this video call, um, is your belief that the biggest name or the biggest platform isn't always the best fit. And I interpreted that as sometimes a smaller outlet might be a better fit than OK Magazine or something more nationally recognized. Can you speak more to that? I would be remiss if we didn't discuss that
Yeah.
topic as well.
Yeah, well, of course, it was actually, I came up with this idea of, because I found myself always trying to find that delicate balance between the celebrity and our cause and the media outlet, but also the journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And when they align all together, then you have a really impactful campaign. And as you said before, just having a big celebrity or securing a coverage in a top tier outlet doesn't automatically mean that your PR campaign was successful, because I think true success comes from reaching the right audience and mobilize them. So you need the right celebrity who genuinely connects with the cause, who is not someone chasing publicity or lacking any meaningful link to the issue. Ideally, it's someone whose values and lifestyle already align with the cause. So when they speak, it feels authentic. You also need the right media outlet, the one that truly reaches to your target audience when they go for their news or where they spend their leisure times. For example, if your target audience still reads their news from printed newspapers, then maybe it's not a good idea to go for digital first outlets. And as importantly, the right journalist, somebody really cares about the story and understands the cause, not just someone, chasing a celebrity interview. So if I can give an example, let's say, again, you are working for an animal charity, that because this is my most recent experience, and without a strategy in mind, you are just chasing the most famous name you can get. And then let's say you get someone like, I don't know, Kim Kardashian, let's say. So does she have a media appeal? Definitely. Can she get the great public attention to your campaign? Definitely. But what kind of attention? Because if I remember correctly, even though she said she stopped wearing real fur items years ago, she's still seen and photographed while wearing real fur items. So this mismatch could backfire very badly, because people are really, really good at doing those internet research. So it can damage the charity's credibility, and it can also damage your, supporters' trust. Or if we can talk about a more subtle mismatch, let's say you're running a campaign with a rock star and you landed a piece in Rolling Stone magazine. So it's a great name, great reach for your PR report. But if your target donor base is older, which is mostly the case for charities in the UK, at least in one of their top audience group is mostly elder people. And if I remember correctly, Rolling Stone magazine's audience is mostly from 25 to 35 years old, then you missed the mark because you talked to the wrong audience. Or again, the journalist might not be the best fit. If they're only interested in the celebrity angle, then you might end up having a glossy celebrity interview that does nothing to support your cause. You just basically handed access to a celebrity without real benefit to your cause. So this three-way chemistry is really essential and very delicate, not easy all the time. But when it works, your campaign delivers real value for the cause and it delivers to reach your broader organizational goals.
Yeah, it is a delicate balance, isn't it?
It
There's
is,
so
it
much
is
to think about. Well,
definitely.
Nez, I could pick your brain for hours about this topic, but I think you've summed this up very nicely and succinctly and given all of us so much to think about too. Where can my listeners follow you and follow your work and keep up with your brilliance?
Well, I'm currently working on a website actually to showcase my full journalism and PR portfolio, but it is not live yet. But in the meantime, you can easily reach me via LinkedIn. Just search for Nez Sevim-Lawrence, and I'm happy to connect with everyone there.
Perfect. I'll link to your LinkedIn profile in the show notes too, so in case
Thank
listeners
you.
have trouble finding it. But yeah, you're super active on LinkedIn. Highly recommend following Nez on that channel.
Thank you.
And thank you again so much for joining us and for, dealing with some scheduling issues too. It was meant a
No
lot.
worries. No worries. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.